So today we're going to learn about worship and how worshiping God shows how much we love Him. So I have a made-up story here. It's not found in the Bible, but it's a made-up story about how a young boy named Ben, what might have happened and what it might have been like for him to go worship God in biblical times. So Ben and his family were walking to the temple in Jerusalem, and it's hot and the sun's bright, so they stopped to take a drink. But they didn't stop for too long because they were too excited to get to the temple. So as they're walking, Ben starts thinking of a worship song that his grandmother taught him. He started to sing the words from Psalm 122 in the Bible. And it goes, "I was glad when they said to me, 'Let us go to the house of the Lord.'" So their entire family started singing this. They were all super excited to get to the temple. And when they arrived, Ben walked through the giant gates leading into the city of Jerusalem. And the temple was in the middle of the town. And it was the prettiest thing he had ever seen. And there were people all over eating and laughing and talking. Everybody was happy. People were buying animals to give as offerings. Scribes were telling people about God. And Ben walks up the steps and went inside to where the women were worshiping, and there was a choir of men singing. And Ben starts to sing and dance a little bit. And Ben felt very happy when he passed the singers. And they were singing, "Sing to the Lord a new song. Sing his praises in the assembly of the faithful. O Israel, rejoice in your Maker. O people of Jerusalem, exult in your King. Praise his name with dancing accompanied by tambourines and harp. For the Lord delights in his people. He crowns them humble with victory. Let the faithful rejoice that he honors them." And those are some words that are in the Psalm in the Bible. It's Psalm 149, verses 1 through 5. So that made Ben super excited, hearing all the people singing and talking and worshiping. And he walks up the stairs to where there are other people worshiping, and they were sitting there praying, and they had their heads bowed, and they were praying to God. And Ben saw other men listening to the scribes tell about God's word and what they were writing down. And so Ben worshipped with these men, and he watched the priests offer the sacrifices to God. The animals that people had bought beforehand, they were sacrificing them to God. So when Ben's family left the temple, they started to travel back to their home. When it got dark, they camped by the side of a road. And Ben's mom started to sing a song to put him to sleep. And the song is from Psalm 23. "The Lord is my shepherd, I have all that I need. He lets me rest in green meadows. He leads me beside peaceful streams. He renews my strength. He guides me along right paths, bringing honor to his name. Even when I walk through the darkest valley, I will not be afraid, for you are close beside me." So as Ben was starting to get all comfortable in his bed, he was thinking about how good God is. And he felt safe even though he was sleeping outside because he knew God would take care of him. Ben would always remember what he had seen in the temple, and he would always remember how he could please God with worship. So as he fell asleep, he remembered his grandmother's song, and he prayed, "God, I am glad I went to your house today. I love you. Good night." So there are so many different ways that we can worship God. And something that I thought would be cool to remind us that we can worship God wherever we are, even though we're not in church together, is to make stained glass windows. Our church doesn't have stained glass windows, but there's other churches that have these huge stained glass windows, and they're all these different colors, and they're super pretty, and the light comes in at different ways. So today, we're going to be making a sort of stained glass window. So you're going to need a sheet of construction paper and some tissue paper or anything that light can get through, you can cut up. So I'm going to get those things, and I will be back. So you're going to want to cut a piece of construction paper into a strip, and then you're going to want to cut some pieces of tissue paper into other little strips that it can be however wide, however skinny you want them to be, however long. So I'm going to cut up the tissue paper, and then I'll let you know what to do next. So I have a bunch of strips of tissue paper here. I have a few different colors. So what you're going to do is you can glue or tape or whatever to this piece of construction paper. You're just going to attach them going across and everything. So you're just going to keep attaching them down. So I'm going to attach all mine on, and I'll let you know what it looks like. Alright, so I glue them all onto the back here, and then here's the front. And when you hold this up to a window and there's a lot of sunlight coming in, there's not too much sunlight today when I'm recording this. But when you hold it up, light will come in through it, and it'll change the color of the tissue paper a little bit. And so it'll be super cool and pretty in a window. And I have one more way to show you how ways that you worship show that you love God. So I have a little surprise kind of thing, so I'm gonna get that ready and then I will be back. So I'm gonna play a song and sing a song called Kumbaya, and it's a song that's about how we can worship God in different ways. And I am not a professional guitar player. I just learned how to play this song on the guitar a couple weeks ago, so bear with me. And here's Kumbaya. So that's some way that I worship God, and that song has tons of different verses to it. It has the verse about singing that I sang, and then it has a verse about laughing. It has a verse about praying. So there's all different ways you can worship God, and all different ways you can worship God from home. So I hope that you all had a good week last week, and I hope you all have a good week this week. And don't forget to wish your mothers a happy Mother's Day and give them a hug. So yeah, I'll see you all next week. Bye.